Hello everyone. This is quite a common question which is asked in front-end interview. Carousel. Carousel is like you might have seen on Netflix or on Amazon Prime and Hotstar in multiple places where they want to display multiple things on the main page. They use this carousel. It is being usually used for banner programs and everything, right? So, you know, it is clickable. There's this animation. You can go previous. You can go next. There are multiple variants of this. There's cyclic carousel. There are carousel with animation which automatically goes from first to next, first to next. So let's see the very basic implementation of this carousel where you can go from one item to another, next and previous. So mainly carousel have two parts. The majority of it is the UI and the second is to handle the transition from one item to another item. Right? So let's create the UI first. I am taking the array of colors. You can take the list of images, whatever suits you. So let me have red, blue, green, yellow. Let me render them on screen. Let's see how it looks. Let's give background color as a color. Let's give it a height or width of 100% and a height of maybe 600 pixels. Okay. So now we want it in a row. So let's give its parent display flex. We want each color to take the whole screen. So let's increase the size of the parent. Let's make it width as total number of colors into 100%. So in this case, it will be colors dot width, sorry, colors dot length, the length of the color array into 100. Now each of the color is taking the 100% of the width, since the total width of the parent element is 600%, sorry, 400%. Okay, this looks fine. Now most of the carousel does not have this scrolling, right? We don't have this scroll bar in this carousel. So let's hide this scroll bar first. Okay. Now we have to add one more functionality to go to the next image or color in the carousel, the next item or the previous item in the carousel. So we have to add two buttons. Let's add those buttons. Let's call it previous. Let's call it next. Let's give a little bit of CSS to these buttons. So in most of the color carousel which I have seen, they are on the extreme end of the pages. So let's give them flex and justify content is placed between. So they are on the extreme end of the screen. This looks fine to me. You may give a little bit of CSS to this. You can give an arrow and like whatever the changes you want to make. There could be a lot of styling on the button. I won't go into that. You can make as as you wish. One more thing, we have to maintain a state. So create a state to maintain an index of the item of the carousel. In our case, the color of the item which you want to show on the screen. So initially, every time it will show the zeroth item, right? So now to go to the next item in the carousel, we can use the property transform. We can translate it horizontally using translate x, translate y is to transform it vertically. And so there are four colors. I have to translate the screen by 1/4 to go to the next color. Initially, the translate is 0. Now I have to go to the blue color. So to go to the blue color, I have to translate to the left, right? I have to move the whole thing to the left. Then blue color will occur on the screen, right? So let me translate it by 1/4 of 100%. So that will be 25%. The blue came. Let me do it 50%. The green came. Let me do it 75%. The yellow came. Now, how do we do it with the previous and next button? Let's create an index, a state to hold an index. Right? Let's initialize the state. Now, over here, I want to, on the basis of the index, I want to translate it. So let me just do it minus index into 100 divided by the total length of the color. So the 100 by color's length is 25, and on the basis of the index we are translating. So for the first time, to go to blue it will be minus 25%, for green it will be minus 50%, for yellow it will be minus 75%. Now handle this over here. Add the event listener on click. Next minus one. Let me copy this, paste it over here. Next plus one. Yeah. See, it works. Okay, so this is working fine. But what happens when I click next? It, the translate x will be minus 100%, where we don't have anything to show. We are going right of all these colors, right? And I feel we'll have the same issue we are going from previous from zeroth index. We don't have anything to show in minus 1 into 100, that will be 25%. We don't have anything to show it over here. So let's handle those conditions. What should happen when index is less than 0? We should go to the last element, right? From red, we should go to the yellow. So how will we go it? We can give the index as the last index of the colors array. Same logic we can have when it reaches the last index of this array. So when it comes to yellow and we click on next, it should go to the red. So let's add this at index is 0. and in rest of the cases it should work fine. Okay, let's try if it is working fine. Okay, it looks fine. Now see the previous. Okay, for the previous, it's just stuck. That's to some issue. Okay, it won't be colors dot length. It should be colors dot length minus one. Okay, now this is working fine. Now in most of the carousels we have this animation, and that animation we can add by using this transforming property, I think transition property. Let's see if it works. So here we have to specify what do we want to add animation on. So we want to add animation on the transform property. How long should it take trans to do animation 1 second, and what kind of animation? So there are multiple kind, linear, ease out, cubic. You can check it out. This is the easiest way to add the transformation, like straightforward animation. Right? So let's say if it is working. That is perfect. Looks fine. Right. But when you go from zero to previous index, rather than directly going to the last index, it is going through all the items in between, because this is not the cyclic, uh, you know, carousel. Maybe we can explore that in the next video. So there are a few tricks, few tactics to handle that cyclic carousel. But as of now, it works fine. You can let me know in the comments if there are anything which I missed out on, if something is not clear, and the feedbacks are really appreciated. Thank you all.